Hi, this is Ruth Theresa with One Inspiring Woman, and today we're talking about our Pluto return for the United States. Hi, my name is Ruth Theresa with One Inspiring Woman. I'm an intuitive psychic medium here in the Sugar Land area. That's just outside of Houston. I work with my angels and guides to assist my clients in many areas of their lives, to bring them special messages from loved ones who have passed, to dialogue with their angels for guidance into their own situation, or to assist them with their own psychic abilities. If you like my content, please make sure to subscribe, like, and comment. So this is some major planetary energy that is and has been affecting us for quite a while, but now it's kind of like at the apex. It's kind of like pushing everything together. So really what we're talking about is Pluto, which was way far out there, is kind of really affecting us. And it's basically in the degree and the sign that it was when the United States was formed in 1776. So all of that energy is in play. Basically, it roughly takes 225 years to get all the way back in the same sign that it was in. And so now we're dealing with that. But since kind of, 2008, it has been in the sign of Capricorn, which it was when the United States was formed. And this is kind of really that apex of, like I said, and it's also in the same degree sign. So it's kind of in the same degree from our perspective. This is going to be really interesting for a lot of people. A lot of people are talking about it. A lot of people are trying to understand some of it. So I'm trying to explain a little bit of that. If you have any questions, make sure that you ask me. I will get the answers for you because I've really enjoyed kind of like learning about our planetary returns. It's kind of interesting. So our planetary returns happens when the planet in the zodiac returns to the same sign and degree it was during a physical or spiritual birth. These events are to mark a new chapter, kind of like we're finished with the old chapter and kind of what's going to be the new chapter. How are things going to change or modify? The story is kind of like, how are we going to kind of live with this energy of what's going on, what's coming up next for us, how are we going to work through this? Of course, not all planets have a 225-year kind of cycle to get around to the same sign. Some of them do, some of them don't. So it's kind of like basically on Earth, one calendar year is 365 days. Well, on Mars, I think it's like, or not on Mars, on Mercury, it's like 180 days or 181 days, not 181, 81 days. So that's kind of an interesting one, but all of them have this cycle, and it's really interesting. After 225 years, it's hitting Capricorn in the same degree sign for us. So this is kind of like a really kind of interesting energy. Pluto is known for kind of shaking things up. You think about 1776, what was going on in the United States during that time frame, and this is major for us. This is not a minor thing. This is going to be affecting every part of our government because that's what was formed during that time frame. How we think about things, how we want to change things, how we want to modify things. And there may be some things that we kind of go back and restore to the way it was in 1776, but there's going to be a lot more things that we're kind of like, okay, that's old. This is new technology or new thinking, and we're going to change and upgrade. So that's kind of what we're going through. Let's see. Kind of one of the things that you're going to see a lot of people kind of like wanting to change is a lot of old things that are coming around. And we've already been in this energy, like I said, since 2008. So that is kind of like some interesting energy for us. We saw a lot of people kind of over the last year or two knocking down old statues and changing things and modifying things. That is part of this, but it's not all of this. This is not over. This is still coming at us. Let's see. This is going to kind of really expose a lot of things that have been really kind of hidden from things. Pluto is the planet of rebuilding and restructuring, but it's also the planet of destruction, and it destroys anything that isn't working. And it doesn't mean like, oh, one person doesn't like it, so let's get rid of it. It means the majority of people don't like this, or don't like, aren't able to deal with this, or need to change their views about things. And it's going to kind of be this renewal of new thinking, new technology, kind of how do we change or modify things. And not only that, over the last 13 years that Pluto has been in the sign of Capricorn, this energy has been changing or modifying. You've seen a lot of putting a lot of people into kind of like changes. Things have bubbled up in the public eye of things being exposed. This person didn't really do this, or this person didn't really do that. And we've seen that over the last 13 years, and it's going to get even more so. So things that have been hidden, or things that people have been wanting to hide from us, are now coming to a close, because all of that is going to bubble up. So then everybody gets a chance to kind of, how are we going to do this now? How are we going to vote on this now? How are we going to deal with this now? What is going to change and modify for all of us? I will say kind of some of the noticeable changes is I think it's going to deal with how people get paid. I also kind of feel like there is going to be a lot of restructuring in how Congress and the senators get paid, how justice get paid, all of that kind of stuff. Like, how does all of that, the people that represent us, how are they getting paid? And I do feel like there's going to be a lot more monitoring of where their money comes in from, because way back when that wasn't really hidden. It's kind of like, you make this much money per month or whatever else, and a lot of that has changed. And so now there's ways for people to hide money, and that's something that's going to come down and kind of really bring in a lot of change and in that perspective. The other part is this is going to kind of really be reshaping it. Like I said, is our finances as a government of the United States. How are we going to do our finances? It's going to be one that's going to benefit more of the masses, more of the majority of people, and less just one segment or another. It's going to be much more power, not really a power struggle, but kind of like the majority of people get their voice heard. And you know what I'm saying? It's like, that's what we always thought it was in the United States, but now it's going to be like intensifying that energy. This shift is going to be kind of showing the flaws in our government. How has the United States government not honored everybody, or kind of how they have hidden things from people? And like I said, this is all about coming up, so it can be looked at and modified and monitored. And then how are we going to make changes? How are we going to change into that energy? So let me get you some angel cards, and let's get us a little bit more information about the United States' Pluto return. So the first one is all about harmony. That's what we're going for, is a lot of harmony. When in 1776, they were trying to make the government, and kind of how is it going to be harmonious compared to what people were dealing with in England. That's what we're going to be looking at now, is how is it going to be harmonious for the majority of people. And there will be a lot of changes in who's been in government and who's been making the wrong decisions or choices, and how are we going to change and modify that. Focus. Our focus is going to be the majority of people. How are things going to work for the majority of people? Kind of that underclassmen, or people that really haven't been represented. That is going to make some changes in there as well. This one is truth and integrity, and I guarantee the people that are stepping forward during this time frame, you're going to see a lot of their truth and integrity being tested, and also kind of like, yes, they're good. Yes, they're bringing in the right energy for us. So that is going to be really great for the majority of us. Our last one is manifestation. This is all coming forward, kind of like when it's almost like the phoenix, like things have to like break down so the new can come up from it. And that's kind of the really important part, is when things get broken down, we can rebuild from the ashes. We can rebuild from other things. Things will be changing, things will be modifying, but I guarantee you things are going to get better on the other side of it, but we still have some time in this energy. We are still going to be in this energy until 2024. So there's still time to modify. There's still time to change. But these next couple of years are going to be the ones that are really pushing us to kind of finish those changes, now and get going now and making those adjustments now and not waiting. I thank you so much for joining me today, and I know that we'll be talking again soon.